Today, we're going to talk about how Your Mom's House podcast with Tom Segura and Christina P. could have been a key component in launching Andrew Tate into superstardom. I was the executive producer of that podcast at the time. Is this our fault?
Andrew Tate, what the did you create?
Didn't get any.
Maybe a little bit. Let's talk about it. Welcome to another episode of Catching You Up with
Nadav. It's over.
I'd first like to thank the executive producer of this episode, Stoned Ape Canico. If it wasn't for their big baller support, I'd probably be going dumpster diving, specifically when college campuses kind of let out for the summer quarter, because college students don't know what the hell they have. They're throwing out good couches, granted they're probably stained, but mini fridges, all sorts of furniture. They're like, I can't take this home. So they just throw perfectly good stuff in the dumpsters. And then I resell that stuff on Craigslist or whatever the kids are selling stuff. Facebook Marketplace, wherever you sell stuff nowadays. And I'll be selling that stuff at a 100% profit margin. And oh boy, is that a good business model. But it'll require quite a bit of manual labor, and eventually I'd have to hire a whole bunch of people so that we can hunt a whole bunch of different dumpsters at the same time so that we have the upper edge on everyone else that's thinking like this. But thanks to Stoned Ape Canico and his big baller support, I don't need to really do that stuff and think like that. And if you'd like to become a big baller supporter of the show, you can go ahead and click the Patreon link in the description below. Comment, rate, subscribe! It all helps the algorithm. So I'll first open this up with saying, I am fully aware that there are very bad articles written about Andrew Tate. I haven't read any of them, but the headlines that I saw all imply very bad things. Allegedly. I've also read articles that say that I am actively dead. And granted, that's the only part that was wrong about those articles, but, you know, devil's advocate. The only things I'm going to say about Andrew Tate are things that I anecdotally experienced, and analyzing some of his marketing strategies that are smarter than I think anyone would probably like to admit. So let's rewind a bit. Quite a number of years ago, someone had sent a clip of Andrew Tate to the YMH podcast email. It was reviewed, it was seen, and I believe it was a video of him just angrily explaining what the role of a woman was.
Let's cut to the chase here. Women should clean up. Not only should women clean up unprompted. Ooh. And I'm going to tell you why.
He was saying wild sentences that were just like, God, these are such good sound bites. And that's how we decided what clips we'd prep. Is like, oh, can we make a good fun isolation from this? They were saying stuff that was like, that's a crazy 2-second bite. That's a crazy 1-second bite. It immediately upped the value on whether or not we were going to evaluate whether, hey, we should prep this clip for the show.
This guy's the coolest. He's so masculine.
Oh man, I want to learn why women should be cleaning up. Here we go.
It's very, very simple.
Oh.
We live in a world where things need to be fair, 50-50, gender equality, blah, blah. I pay for things unprompted. You don't have to ask me to pay for shit. If we go for dinner, I'll get my wallet out, pay at the end. Don't even check the price of the bill. My card always works.
Oh shit. Damn. Okay, damn, homie.
Honestly, it was kind of difficult to tell whether he was being genuine or if he was playing a character. And for the most part, we tend to stay away from people that are too self-aware or are playing characters. That leads to disingenuous interactions, and that is not something that YMH is interested in. If you're genuinely crazy, YMH wants to interact with that. Either way, Tom and Christina thought it was funny. I thought it was ridiculous. This seemed like the new cool guy that we're going to be watching video clips of, you know? We found more and more of his clips and just started putting them in the normal rotation of playing his clips for our guests.
Now, when I say this, girls go, well, I don't like cleaning. No problem. If you don't like cleaning, how about this? I'll clean. And when I say I'll clean, I mean I'll hire someone else to clean.
Okay, man.
I'll get the house
My card
clean.
always works.
And you pay for everything. How about that? Oh no, you can't do that either, can you? Because you're a fucking moron. And you realize that making money is much harder than getting some fucking dishes.
Who is he talking to?
There's a lot of women that have heard it.
Yeah. His mommy.
Mom, yeah.
He then responded to us responding to his clips.
Moshe Kasher. I guess this is another comedian that no one gives a shit about. American stand-up comedian. Yeah, 2 comedians no one cares about. Oh my gosh. Why? Why do you look like that? You're a man. You know, like, because you can, you know, go to the gym and put on some muscle mass. You don't have to look like that. That's a choice.
And whenever we got into this territory with a cool guy, which is an ironic term we used for people that are insane, we always got excited. Was this guy gonna be too crazy to actually interact with? Is he gonna play ball with us? Is he too self-aware? All of these things are things we evaluate whether or not we decide to move forward with a collaboration with a cool guy. So some time goes by and I see that Andrew Tate is starting to promote his War Room or Top G Academy or Fight Club in his backyard. I forget what it was, but it was like his online school that he was pushing. And in the time that he was doing that, YMH Studios was actively relocating from Los Angeles, California, to Austin, Texas. And also in that time frame, we had received random bursts of messages from people that clearly weren't fans of the show because fans of YMH talk a certain way. But we would get bombarded all at once from random emails demanding Andrew Tate come on to YMH as a guest. But we were able to see right through it because, once again, YMH fans talk in a certain way. And this clearly seemed like a coordinated effort. How is it possible that 50 emails would come in a span of 48 hours demanding Tate to be on the show, but never used any of the vocabulary from the show in making that request? A good producer can always tell. And we were debating whether or not he was drifting into the too self-aware category. More time goes by, and if I remember this correctly, I might not be. But Tom then tells us that he had been DMing with Tate, and then gives me his information. It's like, hey, coordinate when he can come on the show. And I touch base with him, we find a date, and it is decided that this is happening. As the date approached, I'm not sure if everyone remembers this, but the Austin YMH Studios production facility was not ready. We were still filming out of Ennie's house for like the first 6 months that we were out in Austin, at least. And Andrew Tate was literally the first guest we ever had at the Austin official YMH Studios. So the day comes, he shows up solo, and he is honestly just as nice as can be. He's super gracious. He's being a great guest. He just seems like a normal, nice guy. Keep in mind, none of the articles have come out about him at this point, but he is not the person that we saw in those videos at all. So we all converse with him a little bit. There's some banter. He mentions, please don't mention my Twitter. They always try to cancel me on Twitter, and I just got my account up. So please do not mention it, as they will insta-ban me immediately. You got it, buddy. Let's get you over to set so we can start getting some framing going. We framed him up, we hit record, and everyone just snaps into character. And this will be one of the longest bits that I think I've ever seen Tate in actual character. Not saying that it doesn't exist, just the first time that I've ever personally seen him be and talk like this for this amount of time, like in a row. And he crushes. Christina is just lobbing him alley-oops, and he's just fucking dunking on fucking everything that they're throwing at him. And here's the thing about producing podcasts. When someone says a line that makes everyone laugh, you make a note of that, and you're like, oh, that's a promo moment. Mark that for a promo moment. Andrew Tate speaks in promo moments. Every line he said during that interview, you could cut up and put on social media, and you're like, yeah, that's going to do well. Just absolutely relentless.
87 fights, a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Have you broken someone's bones?
Have I broken someone's bones? I've broken a bunch of bones.
How does that feel?
Great.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like, I'm being serious.
I don't give
the
a
first
fuck.
time you broke somebody's bones, were you like, was it rad? Was it like a hunter when they kill a big moose?
No,
Were
you
you
know,
like,
no, you know what it
"Fuck
is. So there's a video, if you can actually find it. If you go to YouTube and you look in my highlight reel, there's a video of me fighting in Macedonia in the World Championships. I was representing the USA, and I fought a German fighter. If you type into to YouTube Andrew Tate highlights, it'll come up. And there's me against a German guy.
Mm-hmm.
And when I knocked him out badly, seeing him on the floor was, that's it, the top one. Seeing him on the floor, you'll scroll through, you see a guy in German shorts.
Seeing him on the floor was kind of cool. But you know what was much cooler? Seeing the look on his wife's face.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because I know she left him.
And some of this stuff was so funny and blindsiding. I had never seen Tom or Christina laugh this hard at something that a guest had told them, let alone a guest that wasn't a comedian.
Yeah, I wonder what
Yeah.
he's doing now. Because that was a good 10 years
You
ago.
hit him right on the button, too. That was,
Fuck him.
yeah.
That was like 10 years ago. You know what? You know what? I'm petty like this, right? I'd love to
Yeah.
like find him on Facebook, track him down,
Yeah.
find his address, pull up in my Bugatti Chiron. Yes, I have one. Pull up out front in my $5 million car.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, just wondering how life's been since I kicked the fuck out of you. Because my life's gone pretty good. I mean, I got the Bugatti and a German bitch. You know what's about to happen to her. So what you doing? Oh, you're fat now. Safe. All right.
And not only that, there were multiple times where you could see Tate breaking character too. He like kind of pushes his face to the side and like tries to cover it, but it's like you can see he's smiling because he's trying to keep himself from laughing. And the whole thing was just good show, as long as you understood what the joke was. And at the time, at least, that's what we thought. No articles had come out yet. We just thought he was a stud. It was like, God damn, dude, your character is just fucking on. Because in that episode, everyone is just playing a game of yes and. And for those of you that aren't familiar with it, it's an improv game where someone starts with a ridiculous sentence and then the next person says yes and then they add another layer onto that sentence. And you just keep on doing that. And at the end of it, you're like, wow, we've really yes-anded our way ourselves into like saying that, you know, women are and, children is okay. I'm probably bleeping most of that stuff. But it was just fun to see them play with each other. It was, honestly, I'm going to regret saying this because this is easy to isolate and it was such a good time, but Andrew Tate was one of the most fun guests we've ever had on the show. Played ball like the best of them. So we wrap up the interview, we exchange pleasantries, and then he invites all of us to Bulgaria, Romania, wherever he lived at the time, and invited us to come film and gamble with him on his expense. And I mean, we had busy filming schedules and just everyone was like, no one has time to go to Bulgaria or Romania for like 2-3 weeks. But I will say right now, Andrew Tate, if you want to fly me out and have fun gambling and shit wherever the fuck you are right now, count me the fuck in. As long as all those articles aren't true, which I'm sure they aren't. I don't know. Honestly, I'm afraid to read them. So Andrew parts his ways with everyone at YMH Studios. He leaves. He gets back on a plane. The jets are fueled and he's going back home. We upload the interview and it gets good traction. The hardcore fans that understood it was a bit loved it, and a lot of the fans that didn't understand the joke hated it, but that's all engagement. Some of them got really upset that we gave Andrew Tate a platform, but, you know, to make a Tomlet, you gotta crack a couple Gregs. Sorry, I've been rewatching Succession, and that's kind of lodged in there. Or Secession, however, I'm definitely saying it wrong. But then something really interesting started happening. Andrew Tate started blowing up way beyond the scope of anything that our show was manually pushing out. And it was crazy because he was exploding on different platforms. He was exploding on Instagram, TikTok, I think Twitter, anywhere where you could see it. And it was all coming from different accounts. It was all decentralized. It was kind of confusing. And none of these accounts seemed to be accounts that he owned. Because for a lot of content creators, YouTube ad revenue or TikTok ad revenue or Instagram ad revenue, like that's the goal. But for Tate, it wasn't the goal. It was just the top of the funnel. And this is where Tate's genius starts being displayed. Now, I'm just going to say that, you know, this is unconfirmed news and this is all alleged. But from what I could tell, this is what Andrew Tate was doing. He had a mailing list and like I said, he had that online class, the Top G Academy, whatever it was called. War Room, and what he did was he picked a couple hundred or a couple thousand people that are in his school, gave them all affiliate links, and said, start posting content of me and put the affiliate link under there. Whoever signs up, you get downstream from whoever signs up because of your click. And that created hundreds, if not thousands of accounts starting to upload videos of Andrew Tate. Allegedly. I can't confirm that that's what he was doing, but allegedly, I think that's what was happening. And boom, just like that, he activated an army of people that uploaded his content that you could not get rid of. Oh, what he said was offensive and you reported the clip and the account and you got it taken down? Don't worry, it's gonna hydra. You just took down one account, 9 more are gonna sprout up and push just as many, if not more, different clips than the one that offended you. And you bet your sweet ass there's gonna be an affiliate link on the bottom of that clip. Truly genius. Truly genius. So here's where I tie it back and, say where I question, like, did Andrew Tate play YMH like a fiddle? When you run a YouTube channel, there's a copyright section. And what it does is that it audio or video matches what your content is with stuff that's been re-uploaded. So you could see anything that's an exact match to what you uploaded, and you could just like check stuff and take stuff down and be like, yeah, this is just a clear re-upload. Their video is 100% of your content, like stuff like that. And that's the only stuff that I would take down before this, where it was just like, clearly they're just re-uploading episodes and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. That's how the content copyright section of YouTube Studio works. And from the point that YMH uploaded that Andrew Tate episode, that was the main thing that always got shown in the flagged copyright section of YouTube Studio for YMH. It was the only thing that was getting re-uploaded. Sections, full episodes, everything. I hadn't seen anything do that before, and I haven't seen anything do that since then. And that's why it seemed like for a full year, you couldn't escape Andrew Tate. There was no way to escape Andrew Tate, because anything that was posted of him was inflammatory. It made you say, I disagree with this. I'm going to the comment section and saying how much I disagree with it. You'd get into arguments with people in the comment section. That's called engagement. And whatever platform you're doing that on rewards that kind of activity. So everything just started to get boosted and boosted and boosted. And that's how Andrew Tate got to where he is today. So look, is Andrew Tate a bad guy? That's what the newspaper and everyone and their mother pretty much has to say about him. Is he way smarter than you think? Absolutely. I know that he gets in trouble a lot in the public eye. I also know that he has a very good sense of humor. And I also know that he was probably one of the easier guests to coordinate a booking with when it came to any show on YMH Studios. Honestly, very interesting case study. Not sure I've seen anything like him or operate like him since him. BBL Drizzy. But with all that being said, anything involving a human hurting another human sucks. I don't like that. No one likes that. Just be good to each other and hope for the best. And with that, that's been another fun episode of Catching You Up with... Oh, come on, motherfucker. Catching You Up with...
Nadav, it's a good time.
I'd like to thank everyone that you're seeing on screen right now. They are all producers of this show, and without their help, it'd be a hard time to put this show out as regularly and as welly as I do. I hope you've been enjoying the interview series that I've been doing. Still cutting some of these back in every now and then whenever I have something fun that I want to report on. But now's a good time to remind you to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this with a friend. This is always something that helps the algorithm. I've always appreciated any and all support that you guys have showed towards this show, towards me, towards anything that I do. But more importantly, for this episode, more than most other episodes that I do have to remind you guys.
This is a totally unconfirmed news.
See you guys next time.